Uh-oh. Whoopsie. When anybody jumps on, I'll tell you what I'm laughing at. See if I can find myself. Never dull moment. Hello. Good morning. Hi, Diana. Where am I? Where am I? I'm just trying to find myself here. There I am. I'll put it on the top so people can find me. Hi, Donna. Good morning, everyone. So I was trying to clean off my screen and I hit the live button before I was ready. Fun! At least I'm laughing. It made me laugh, so that was good because it's always better when you laugh. Good morning, everybody. How's everyone doing today? So it's hard too because I'm trying to look at you and the camera, but also look at the comments. So thank you all for sharing and for stopping by today. I'm trying to make sure I pinned it to the top. So hopefully that's helpful. Let me move these comments. The face again. I know. Is this good or bad? I'm trying to pin it to the top. That way when you come in to Facebook, if for some reason it doesn't notify you, it's always like it should be pinned to the top. I try to put the most recent one pinned to the top. So where is that? So like once you get past all of the scrolling stuff on here, it usually should be the first thing. That's what you should see. So, and that's how I watch the comments. So let me turn the volume down. Feels like it's dark. Is it look dark to you guys? Maybe it's just the color of the screen. So anyway, thank you guys for joining today. Today we're going to make, we're going to use the new set that I can't stop using, which is The Most Wonderful Time. Woohoo! But what we're going to do is, I was thinking the other day, I was pulling out some other paper, and I thought it would be really fun to use the Brightly Gleaming paper because it's got a lot of different colors in it. So you have, and I added one for Donna. You have Night of Navy, Pretty Peacock, Mossy Meadow, and then I added mint because I like mint, even though Donna doesn't like mint. So you can stop watching now, Donna. Just kidding. And I got out my vanilla paper because sometimes when I do these cards, I tend to always use white and then I get it together and it doesn't match because white and vanilla are a little bit off. So it's still a little dark. You know, it's very gloomy here today. I have 4 lights on and it's kind of gloomy. So I'm really sorry. I'm not exactly sure. Once I go down to the thing, it'll be nice and bright. But anyway, so what I did was I was fooling around the other day and I kind of stamped a few of the Christmas trees in different colors. So I did mint and peacock as a combination. I think they turned out really cute. Like the colors of them, they'll probably look much better once I put them down. But so I kind of figured, I was like, well, we can incorporate a little bit of this DSP. So instead of using the DSP that came with it, which is Real Red and Old Olive, and then it has gold, this will be Peacock, Navy, Mossy Meadow, Mint Macaron for you, Donna, and Copper. So I thought that'd be fun. I'm trying to go for like a very simple card. However, I'm going to tell you, I am feeling much better. Thanks for asking, Tina. I am almost finished coughing. So I still may cough, but you never know. If you guys don't have these dies, I think this is probably the most used set of dies. And what I did was the cardboard that comes in the with the DSP that you get, what I do is I usually trim it down and then I put magnet sheets that I got from Amazon. I adhered it to both sides and then I kept them together. But these squares, if you don't have these squares and then it comes with squares, ovals, and circles, these are the most used dies that I've finally realized that I keep putting away. And I don't know why I keep putting away because I use them all the time. If you don't have these dies, you really should get them. They're very versatile, and the cool part is because they add stitching, so it kind of makes your circle look more exciting than it is, even just for the circle. So I think that's all. I have to say, oh, Donna's throwing up. Oh, stop it. You're going to become a mint convert. I feel it. And also, thank you, Donna. Donna sent me like a whole basket full of goodies, but I don't exactly know what these little things are. So I thought, what better to put you on the spot than ask on Facebook Live? These are really cute. And she used the DSP and the tags, but I'm not sure what this is for, because there's also a couple of them she put in here that are blank. I'm thinking they're tags, but the way they're made, they kind of look like maybe they're supposed to go around something, and I didn't want to bend them. So if you have a minute, Donna, you can share what those little goodies. She sent me like a whole thing full of goodies, so it was very nice of her. It was like Christmas. I got a little mini priority box full of goodies. So anyway, speaking of goodies, I haven't given away anything in a long time because nobody is giving me their mailing address when I say you won. So today when we're done, I'm going to pick 3 winners. And I believe I know I have at least one. This one is not imperfect. I actually got some new glue out too. So I'm going to give away one of Lisa and John's Tipsies. This is in the lovely Tiffany blue. Almost matches the Coastal Cabana walls here. And I must have had like some sugar this morning because I'm a little extra. And then I also have a couple that are imperfect. And I'm going to give away one of those too. And then I wanted to show you one other thing. It's really gloomy. It's like yesterday was even more gloomy, but today it feels like it's going to rain, but I don't think it's supposed to rain till tonight, but I guess you never know. And then these are the other holders that Lisa has. They're for, I think like, oh my gosh, Eileen's tacky glue. But they hold these. So this is the shimmery crystal effects that I use a lot. And I find that because I use them so much, I'm always shaking them. So it's not really like perfect the way it's in there. But it does hold them upside down. So in case you were wondering about those. And then I also have my little tool holder here. I think this is called the MVP, but I can't remember. Because she has had so many things come out. And then the other one, which is the awesome, has all these, you can put all your extra shimmer paint bottles and your bone folder and then your pens and your tweezers, so many cool things. So you probably could also fit, now that I think about it, if you wanted to keep the snowfall upside down, the puff paint, but this stuff comes out so easily, you probably don't want to put this upside down. So lots of goodies. So I'm going to give away some goodies, and then I'm going to give away, I have like a couple card kits because I'm possibly thinking about doing online classes with card kits. So if you guys are interested in that, if that sounds like something that you would want to do, I'm still trying to work out the kinks of exactly what I'm going to do, because I know some people might already have the stamp set. So I'm trying to figure out offering it for people that might have the stamp set or people that need everything. So I'm still working out the kinks of that. I've been trying to kind of get something situated with that. Hey, Veronica, thanks for joining. It's so nice to see you. Bookmarkers. Oh, you put the nail files in them. Okay, that makes sense. Gosh, I'm so blonde. So I guess you just slide them. Woo, you slide them down here in them. That's so cool. So thanks. They're little nail file holders. Awesome. All right. Maybe I can give one of those away. You never know. Okay. Paper trimmers. Yes, the paper trimmer. Thank you, Tina, for helping me. Customers can buy the paper trimmer November 1st. I will say it took a little bit of getting used to because it is a little bit different, but I really like the way it cuts. I think it scores fantastically because it doesn't have just that little pokey part. It has like a whole round circle, so it scores really well. The blade locks, or the sidearm locks in pretty nice. It's definitely much thinner than the other one, and I'll tell you that it cuts. You can cut more than one sheet of paper at a time, which I do have also a guillotine cutter because I do a lot of card prepping for that. But this is really nice. So this goes available to customers tomorrow, as does that other Christmas rose bundle becomes available to customers tomorrow as well. So you can order that. I will have a host code later when I flip the screen. So just FYI, let's see what else. You give me your address. Well, I wish somebody would give me their address. Okay, and you're imperfect. You'll take one. You know what? there we go. I'm gonna pick 4 people because I have a couple extra ones. So I'm gonna pick 4. Don't be putting, Jennifer, don't put your address on here on Facebook. People might send you cards and stuff. You just never know. And I have never used so much Tombow either, Karen. I think it is so awesome. All right, and I'm scrolling down to the bottom. No, I did not have my flu shot, Mary, but I am going to get it with the Rainbow Stamper tomorrow. They have Halloween party, so they get out of school early, so I have to dress up for Halloween. I'll see if I can send you some pictures of me in my obnoxious attire. And I'm going to get one tomorrow. Oh, Kathy, sorry about that. Sometimes that's annoying. That's awesome. Thank you very much. 31 days in October. So tomorrow's the 31st. The paper trimmer is $25. Yes, the 1st is Friday. I'm sorry. I'm getting confused. Okay. Hey, Rhonda. Rhonda has to put up with me all the time. We get to go on a walk later. Rhonda, I see your little circle there. All right, so I'm going to flip you down. So let me move my coffee so I don't spill it because, you know, that could always be a disaster with me. So if you get nauseous, look away for a minute. Let's see if I can pull this out without making anybody sick. All right, here we go. All right. That's pretty seamless. Let me put this out of the way. Because I have that little stand holder, and you know, of course, Christian, it has like a little tripod feet that come out. Well, you know, when he was younger, he wanted to see exactly how far it would stretch before it broke. And of course it broke, so I kind of had to like fit it back in there to work. So tomorrow's your birthday. Happy birthday, Janet. That's amazing. A Halloween birthday. How fun. That's super fun. All right, so what we're going to do, we're going to use a little bit of paper. We're going to do a little bit of stamping. And now that I think about it, I probably should have done these on vanilla. So maybe I'll do a few of them over again. But the nice part about these presents are the stamp set is photopolymer. This is a medley. So it comes with paper. I shared all that last week. I'm not going to show you again, but it comes with paper. It comes with some kind of gold foiled bases. It's got a lot of stuff with it. It's got ribbon, and then you get this stamp set and the die set. So since it's photopolymer, the presents, and you can line the ribbons up, it's got this little tree which has a die, and then it has these candy canes, little dots. It's got a lot of really cute stuff and a couple really cute sentiments. So that's kind of what we're going to focus on today. I did bring a few other stamp sets over just in case, but here is what I'm going to attempt to do. So we're going to make 3 cards with this. And I want to use a side that kind of has some pretty foil to it. But you could also very simply use the other side. So I'm going to use one piece of this. And this is going to be like a very simple design layout that you can probably use. Of course, I'm going to definitely use that one. That you could use for anything. Let's see. Let me get one with a little bit of blue. I'm going to use that one or that one. All right. We're just going to make 4 because I can't make a decision. So let me see if I have any of these already. Oh, stars. That's cute too. The nice part about this paper is you can really use it for other stuff after Christmas. So let's see, that one might work instead of that. I don't think I cut the other one out. All right, so we're going to go with those. And right now, Rhonda's probably thinking how fortunate she is that she gets to walk with me later because I sound like I'm all kinds of hopped up on life. All right, and I'm already getting out the Whisper White. So I had to put that back because I do need vanilla. So I have some vanilla. These are just kind of scrap pieces. We might need one more for our sentiment here. I really love doing this with you guys. And actually, I was telling one of my customers who became a downline who lives out of state how fun it is for me to stamp with you all. And it's like stamping with someone. So it's not like I'm stamping by myself. So that always makes me really happy. All right. So what I'm going to do is I think I'm going to go with not the biggest circle. I think I'm going to go with the second biggest stitch circle. So I want to just see. If it doesn't fit, I might go with the bigger one. But what I'm going to do is, I had an idea of doing it with Oh Christmas Tree. I thought it would be really cute. All right, so I'm going to stamp this. Let me grab a pad. And I need to grab just a little scrap paper and some blocks. And I don't really know what I'm going to do with what thus far. Donna keeps going out because she doesn't want to see the mint. I haven't even done the mint yet, right? That's funny. She's like, no mint. Now it's going to be a gold, and I'm going to have some mint in every single card video I make. And Donna's going to have to, probably is going to be like, all right, I'm going to stop watching now. All right, I'm going to do the pretty peacock first. And I'm going to just, again, I'm kind of just eyeballing where I think I want this to go. Hopefully it's going to fit. Okay, so I'm just going to stamp this. Oops, look at that. Darn it, I smudged it. Well, flip that over and start again. And I'm going to take my stamp and see if I can line this up a little bit closer to the top so I don't have that ridge. Okay, that's better. And then I'm going to add, I don't want to add a whole lot to it, but I'm going to add a little bit. So I'm going to put this little tiny star. And I feel like I want to say I'm going to do it in mint. I think I'm going to. So look away, Donna. I'm going to stamp it off first, though. And we'll just put this here. Now, I'm going to see if this works the way I'm intending it to, because I don't really know. So for the first one, I'm going to make a card. And then the rest of them we'll figure out our stamping afterwards. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this out because I want to make sure it fits. Just like that. So I'm just going to put this through the Big Shot. I made about 3 cards. 3, as a matter of fact. I made exactly 3 cards yesterday because Rainbow Stampers soccer is ending. And we usually get a little something for the coaches. So one of the parents was asking if, oh, that turned out really cute. Okay, so now we just have to do some trees. Let me see. And I'm going to go back. I am going to do these on vanilla just so they don't stick out kind of like a sore thumb. But they asked if we wanted to contribute for something for the coaches. And then after the fact, I said, oh, by the way, do you need cards? And he was like, excuse me? I said, yeah, I make cards, so I can make cards. So I got out the For the Win stamp set, and I made 3 soccer cards, which were really cute. So I had to take pictures, and I used wobblers on all 3 of them. I embossed the soccer ball with black and made a little wobbler. So it ended up being really cute. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to stamp the tree in mint. I'm going to do 2 mint trees, and I'm just going to cut them out at the same time. And then I'm going to do 2 peacock trees. And we'll cut all 4 of these out because I do want trees for all of them. And I'm not 100%, but I feel like I'm correct in saying this. I think this is one of those distinctive stamp sets. And if it's not, it really looks like it because the tree is really very photorealistic looking. It really has a lot of depth to it. So I'm going to pop this through. I'm just going to cut one out for now so we can put it together. And it lines up super well. I did originally stamp the candy canes on it first, but I think it's better if you wait till you cut it out and then stamp them so they're not getting cut off. So it stamps them, cuts them out really, really well. So you have that. So then I will go ahead with the navy, and I'm gonna ink up the little candy canes and just stamp them. You could also stamp, there's little stars, which are really cute as well. Here we go. And they don't really kind of all fit on there twice, but I'm just going to kind of make them work. Okay, so there's a couple that are double. You could probably start at the top and then maybe go down. Might be a better idea, but... So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab, because this does have copper. So let's see, what did we say? This was with Peacock, so I'm going to use this piece, I think. This one here. Might have to... Oh, it kind of works. Look at that. You could do like a play on words, oh, Christmas tree. But I'm going to put this up here. I'm going to trim this piece off, and I'm going to back this onto Pretty Peacock. So this one's going to be very tone on tone. Let's see if I already have a base cut by any chance. Nope. I do need to order some more Peacock paper because I've been going through that like crazy. So I'm going to just grab this and move these stamps over. And for me personally, I have noticed that it is a little bit different to get the trimmer open. So I open it at the top, but honestly I use the bottom more, I think, because I'm right-handed. So if you open it that way, it is very simple to get open, because I don't think this lip lifts up as easily, but it's pretty nice. I like it a lot. Other thing you could do with this, aside from this piece, is we could add, oh, I forgot to trim this piece down. We could add a vanilla panel. Let's do that. I'm going to cut a vanilla panel as well. And I'm going to run it through with the subtle embossing folder. So I'm going to just trim this down to 4 by 5 1/4. Cut this just a little. And while I'm at it, I'm going to cut this down. I think this might be 2 inches. So I'm going to cut this down to 4. You could also, if you don't want to do it crossways, you could do it long ways instead. So just kind of up to you. So let me just grab that folder, and I'm going to emboss this. You're not helping me stick to a budget. You know, that's kind of how I feel about everybody I watch stamp. It's not very good for your budget. So if you have the Big Shot, excuse me, and you're using these really thick folders, you really only need 1 cutting plate. So I'm just going to put this in to my folder. I'm using my old platform. So if you have the magnetic platform, it's too thick to use with this. So use your old platform, or if you have the one that's the double open, you're going to use all the way to the bottom. And then you're going to just put 1 cutting pad on top. I know this one looks pretty wrecked, but you're going to feed it in so the opening goes into the Big Shot. So you're cranking it in. And it still does feel just a little bit tight. All the Big Shots are a little bit different, but, and then you'll have just that. So it's kind of pretty. So really not a whole lot of effort here. Again, remember when we're making these cards, I'm not thinking of the ideas ahead of time. So sometimes it does take a little bit longer in that aspect, but once you do this, if you already have your idea, it should be easy. And then I'm just going to pop this up on dimensionals. So all I'm going to do is put this together. You could go a whole nother route if you wanted to. You could emboss the base. So just the 1 layer of the base. That way you didn't have that. And then you could put this across. This would go all the way across. So just remember, there's lots of different ways to do it. When I do have a folder that's embossed, or a piece that's embossed, I do really tend to like the liquid glue, because I think it sticks in all the grooves much better. So I would either use a really strong adhesive, but I really like the liquid glue. And I tell you, since Donna sent me this Tipsy, I think I use liquid glue now more than any other glue that I use. So also you could use this side, make it simple if you wanted to. You could trim this down a little bit if you thought this was too big. So I'm going to just stick this. Actually need to order more liquid glue now that I think of it. I just grabbed my 2 last refills. So we'll just eyeball kind of where we want this. Nice part about the glue too is that you have that little bit of time when you can kind of maneuver things around. All right, so I'm going to put dimensionals on the back of both of these. And I had some black ones, but I feel like, oh, there they are. I'm at the very, excuse me, the very, very end of them. One other quick thing to note, if you are mixing, like if you're in the middle of crafting and you say, oh my gosh, I only have this many things and I have foam strips. Foam strips and dimensionals are not the same height. So you cannot use them interchanged. I know that because I did it once and my project was all goofy. So if you're going to use foam strips, only use foam strips. If you're going to use dimensionals, now you can use mini or large, but you can only use dimensionals because they're two different heights. And then I'm going to put one on the bottom here. Actually, you know what? I'm not going to put one on the bottom there. I'm going to put glue, and then I'm going to put a little piece on the top where the tree part is. So I'm glad we have stamp class again next Friday, thank goodness. We weren't able to do October, unfortunately. There was just so many things going on, and I'm guessing kind of since I was sick is probably better because then I could have gotten everybody else sick, which would have been a total bummer. So let me move this up, I think, just a little bit because my dimensional is slightly off. But there you go. So that's pretty simple. Probably could put this down just a little because I'm not really loving where I placed that. So there's one really easy card. Again, we just use a very small piece of DSP. So if you have like any extra pieces, pretty simple though. So now we're going to make 3 more. And I'm going to do one of them instead. I'm going to do one lengthwise. So let me just grab, I'm going to trim these pieces out while I have them. And let's see, instead of this one being 2, I'm going to go down to 1.5 for this piece. And then this one is going to measure the whole length except for the, actually, you know what? I'm going to do a full length card. That way we can see what it looks like without a layer. So this one will not have a layer. And then this is not quite long enough. So let's see, I'll do this one with 4. And I'm going to trim this down. We'll do this one with 1 inch. Just to have like some variances so you guys can see which one you like better. I think 1's a little thin. I'm going to go with 1.25. Oops. All right, 1.25. And then one more we'll do, I'm going to do 4. And we'll do this one again. That's a long one. We'll do 5.25 for this one. All right, so we have 2 that are going to be vertical, 2 that will be horizontal. I have one more piece of Pretty Peacock already cut. I'm going to use that for this one. And then I need either a Night of Navy and Mossy. I'm going to do, even though this looks, this is olive, I'm going to see what it looks like on Mossy Meadow. Let's see. Could be a little bit too dark. No, that's not bad. It's pretty tonal and tone. So I'm going to grab one piece for that. Again, I'm just going to score this really quick and then trim it in half. So that will be for this one. And that one we're going to do a base on that. And oh, that's okay. Better late than never. Thanks for joining us. And let's see. I'm going to see what navy looks like with that other paper because that might be, oh, and I already have a base. Even better. That one maybe I'll do a double layer. Let's see. That's there. That's pretty cute. Okay. What is this? I'm going to make sure this one's 4 by 5.25. So I'm going to do this one on the navy. That way we'll have 2 layers of the same. So they're kind of going to be a little bit different. This one we were going to do directly on the base. And then this one I'll use the other vanilla panel for. So we'll have 4 cards that are very similar in style and layout. But maybe with just a little bit different layer. That way you can see what you do or don't like. All right, so I'm I'm going to do a couple of these. I'm going to run this and this through the subtles folder, and I'm going to do these together just to see what they look like. So I'm going to put the white on, or the vanilla on top. I've never done this before, so I'm not exactly sure how it's going to work, but I'm going to try embossing 2 of these at once and see what it looks like. I'm only going to run them through 1 time, and we'll see what that looks like. It might be a little bit thicker because the sandwich is bigger, so I'm going to have to see if it's going to let me crank or not. It's a little bit tight. Ugh. Definitely tighter to crank through, that's for sure. And this one, so it's kind of, here's the thing, it's doing, you can do it, but one of them, the top one is embossed both ways. The one that was on the bottom is kind of more embossed, more on one side. The other side doesn't have quite as much, but still, it worked for 2 pieces, so that works. We're going to do that. And then all we're going to do is the other one, we said here, we can just leave this one plain, or you could also take your folder and you could run it through partially. Sometimes you'll get a little bit of an indent on that, and I know some people don't really like that, so you could run it through as a partial, but we'll leave this one plain just for something different. And we're going to just do a little bit more stamping. Make our other circles. And there go the geese that seem to be confused. They keep flying past every day and every night. All right, I am going to cut these 3 out. And, whoops, where'd my die go? Here it is. I'm going to cut these 3 out, and then we'll finish our stamping. And hopefully these will all match, because I did stamp them all in very specific colors now that I'm thinking. And Donna's probably like, that's why I didn't like to use the mints. But I did do 2 in peacock. So there's a peacock. I think it's kind of cool though sometimes if you're just, if you're having trouble with picking your colors, if you pick a DSP that you want to work with first and then just use the colors out of that, it makes it easy for you to choose the colors because they're already kind of set in stone for the paper. Plus, that way you can get rid of, like, maybe little scraps of paper that you've been saving, or little pieces that you wanted to use for something specific. Or just kind of the end of a pack. All right, and even on a couple of these, what we can do for a few of these is we'll add in a little bit of the shimmery crystal effects just to add something a little bit different to it. This does also, if you wanted to decorate it, you could add an angel. It has an angel and a star die cut, so those are pretty sweet as well. So let me see. I think I had some more vanilla here. Yep. So I did one with Oh Christmas Tree. Our other sentiment in here is Deck the Halls, so we'll do one with that. So let's see if we can fit another down here. And for this one, we'll go with Mossy Meadow. See, hopefully if this is going to fit. Oops, I forgot my mat. If you do stamp without your paper piercing mat, as I'm doing right here, what you want to do is you want to try to make sure, I'm sorry, let me scoot this just a little bit. You want to try to make sure that you wait for the ink to transfer. So just wait a little bit longer. So that still works. But I think this might be just a little bit, it's going to cut off some of the words. So this one, hopefully I can fit it. Yeah, I'm going to make this one just a little bit bigger. If there's ever a question of whether something is going to fit, because it is a little hard to see, I usually flip it over and just make sure whatever it is that I'm wanting to cut fits inside of the stitching. So I'm going to just run this one through real quick just to make sure. So this one will be a little bit bigger. So our tree we can fit, oh, this will fit right in the center. That's kind of cute. You know what we could do is I'm going to grab, since I have it, I'm going to grab the little star and just a little scrap piece of copper and cut that out, copper foil. Have so many little scrap pieces. So this is something I probably cut and was going to use but didn't end up working out. So I'm just going to cut a copper star out. Especially because the foil, you know, we get such large pieces of foil and sometimes it is a little difficult exactly figuring out what our layout is going to look like. So I always save those little pieces. I just have them in my, that's really cute. So we'll put that on our green card. That's going to go here. So I have this one. So there's one. And then we have on our, I think I'm going to stick with the peacock on the peacock. And I'm going to do this last mint one on the navy. So I'm going to do a smaller circle here and some sort of a little sentiment. Let's see. We have over here. So we did deck the halls, oh Christmas tree. Hope you have a wonderful Christmas. That's another fairly small sentiment. So we'll stamp that on a vanilla piece and then cut that out again. We're going to do the smaller stitch circle. Hopefully I can fit it. And I'm going to stick with navy. So it'll be navy, navy. The only thing that won't be navy will be the tree. And I just want to grab my circle here so I can kind of eyeball where to stick that. So again, I don't have my pad, so when I'm stamping right now, I'm just making sure I give it a second for the ink to transfer. Oh, feeling much better. Thank you all very much for asking. That's so sweet of you. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this out. Hope you have a wonderful Christmas. And I'm just keeping the sentiment near the bottom. You could also do it the other way and then put the Christmas tree like that. But I'm going to do this underneath. So I'm going to cut this one out. I'm just moving it up as far as I can so it's very close to the words. And where is my other pad? Here it is. I have one cutting pad that's really, really roughed up looking. That's the one that usually goes on the bottom. So that's easy to find, but the one that's clean is not very easy to find. Okay, now one other thing you could do. So if you could estimate this correctly, and if this tree was just a little bit bigger, somehow here I cut this out, probably not stamping close to the edge, or maybe I wasn't sure. So what you could do is you could cut this out. If you could figure out exactly where you wanted your tree and your tree was big enough, but it might almost work out. Now that one was here. So let me see what this looks like. If I were to lay this here, it almost would look like a little bit of a window. Laying this piece here. Maybe we could put, oh, you know what we're going to do? I'm going to cut this out, and I'm going to tell you why. I'm going to put, I have a little scrap piece here. Boy, if this was totally not planned. I'm going to tell you that. Almost looked like a little stained glass window, so I'm going to put this on the back. So, just using a scrap piece here that I cut out incorrectly, I'm going to cut this circle out, and we're going to fix this. We're going to make this work. All right, so I'm kind of trying to line it up so it's just a little bit slightly more to the right. And again, I'm cutting this out with the second largest stitch circle. So I'll save this and I could use this for like a sentiment or something. So we have our stitch circle. I'm going to put, let me see, where is my, I'm going to put a little bit of snail on the back. This is just a little piece, I swear, that I just so happen to have that's about the right size. I'm going to lay this on the back, kind of making sure it covers the hole. So that looks almost like, oops, a little stained glass piece. This needs a little bit more adhesive. I'm going to grab my silicone mat. That way I can really put some adhesive on here. And then I usually pick it up and kind of pull the adhesive so it's on the inside, just so it doesn't show through. So that looks pretty good. Got a little piece here. Get off. Okay, so there's that. And then I'm going to put my tree on top of it. Now for this one, we may have to add the sentiment over it, but it looks neat. It kind of looks like it's in front of a stained glass window ish. And I'm going to put a little bit of adhesive here. And we'll lay this right there. So that's kind of cute. I mean, for a goof up, a piece that was just going to probably get thrown away because it was cut too big. So I am going to go ahead and stamp a sentiment. And I'm going to do the same thing. I'll do Oh Christmas Tree. And see, this one we were kind of doing mostly Pretty Peacock. So I'm just going to stick with that. And this one I'm just going to hand trim out. So I'm going to try to keep it close to the top. That way it's maybe in a straight line. There you go. I know, isn't it funny? It's like, Gail, every once in a while I'll come up with something where, now granted, if I said, let's do a class where all I do is think of ideas, it would be crickets. All right, so I'm going to trim this very close to the sentiment. And then I'm going to do the same thing. I'm just making sure, I'm not sure if this is 100% dry. So I'm going to trim it super close. There we go. And one more. And then we could just kind of stick that on. So that's going to go on somewhere on here. We'll figure it out. I might need to layer that onto something else before we wrap it up. All right, so let me move some of these out of the way. I believe I have this one. I think I cut too many trees. I think that's why I have all these trees laying everywhere. All right, so I'm going to go ahead with this last one, and I'm going to bring in the navy cardstock, and I'm going to put the, actually I'm going to do something different. Instead of putting the candy canes, I'm going to stamp this little kind of star. It's like a, kind of almost looks like a background kind of stamp with the little teeny stars. So I'm going to add that instead, just to change it up a little bit. But I'm going to do it in navy on this one. And one more over here. Okay, so that's going to go here. That's pretty cute. All right, let me move this over. All these stamps everywhere. I need either a bigger desk or a sous stamper. So instead of a sous chef, I'm going to have a sous stamper. Either that or I need a table that flips and eats all of my scrap stuff and organize it and magically puts it back for me when I'm done using it. That's just a little, whoops. That was a little more crooked than I intended. A little crooked. There we go. So again, we just put a Night of Navy panel, and then I took a 4 by 5 1/4 piece of Night of Navy and ran it through with the subtle embossing folder. Then we have this is going to go crosswise. When I do have these little pieces, I try to make sure that I really get close to the end. That way you don't have any pieces that lift. Now lay this across kind of the bottom. Pretty, like near to 2/3 to the bottom. And then I have, hope you have a wonderful Christmas here. So I'm going to just glue this one on. As you can see, I used this for something else a while ago and I never used it. I just cleaned up all my scraps the other day. Y'all would be really proud of me. And I actually threw stuff away that I finally realized that I just was not going to use. I just threw it away. I was very, very proud of myself. Because normally I keep like every single stitch of everything. Actually, I'm going to pop this up just since we have it. We're going to use the rest of these dimensionals. Just for a little lift of something. Must have glue on my finger. This last corner piece. I did. I had glue on my finger. That's why it keeps sticking. All right, so here's card number 2. Okay, so they're pretty similar layouts. So we went with a wider piece. This one was 2 inches. This one was 1 1/4. Then, other thing I have too, remember I cut all these out. Only these were on white, but I had all these presents, so you could do the presents because it does cut them out. So this one was a piece of Mossy Meadow. And then I had the long strip. This one I did cut down, so this is going to go onto this. It's going to go this way. It's going to be a little bit opposite. So same thing again. You could always, if you wanted to, add a little sponging if this is too flat. Lots of different stuff you can add. Trying to angry emoji. You know what? Apparently, Linda, I don't think it matters if you're getting happy or angry emojis. I think as long as you get emojis, it's okay. For the longest time, I will tell you though, it's kind of funny that you mentioned that. People would give me angry emojis, and a couple of people I wrote to them and I said, why were you giving me angry emojis? What did I do that you didn't like? And then I realized no one answered, which is kind of funny. But I figured it was probably some people either inadvertently doing something, or maybe they thought whatever I was doing was so hot, it was like on fire. That's me being funny. Funny and positive, but at the time. In this making videos, in this whole realm of making videos, one thing that you do have to have is a thick skin. And not really, I won't say not caring what people think, but just realizing that it's probably just something that happened that day. May not be you. Everything's fine. Like the fact that I used mint macaron, it was probably Donna just saying, please stop using mint. We don't like that color. But I said, Donna, everybody likes mint. So there, that's really pretty. This has a little teeny smudge on it. I'm going to grab my... There you go. This is just a dual sand eraser. And you can use the one side if you have little smudgy things. But that's cute. So you have a little bit of texture there with your subtle folder again. But again, this one went vertically. So there's that one. And then we have our last card, which this one I'm dying to see how it's going to turn out. Because I added this little goof window here. So this one we're going to just do plain. So this one is going to be kind of like the navy, except it's only going to be a 1-layer card. It doesn't have 2 layers. The navy has another layer of navy. So I'm going to put this. I love this paper. I'm sure you've heard me say it before, the Brightly Gleaming, because these little ornaments, oh, they just get me every time. I love them. And this one is just a hair too long, so I'm going to have to trim a little piece off. But I just kind of situated that on the side. So what I'll do is just flip this over. No, maybe it's an optical illusion. It looks like it's too long, but it's not. So there's that one. We'll put this here. And I think I might pop the sentiment up onto something. So we have our little thing. I'm going to pop this one up too, just so you can kind of see behind the piece of acetate there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put one on each side. That way I try not to put anything behind the acetate. And I'm going to put just a little teeny one on the top and the bottom. So just a little piece that I have from each one. Okay. And then we'll add our sentiment. My fingers are very sticky now. I must have a goopy glue. Put that there. And then I'm still going to pop this up, only because I think it'll look neat. So I'm going to use just this little strip here. It should fit just fine. Actually, I think I might need one more little piece. Yeah. I do love these black dimensionals. I'm so glad they finally came out with them. And not even just for dark colored projects. It just, I don't know. I think you're able to see them much better, personally. I don't know. Could just be me. And this one is just a little bit off. So I'm going to nip it right out of the way. So that one's actually pretty simple. And granted, I know my tree kind of looks a little crooked, but what I'm going to do for this, because I told you I was going to do it and I forgot until just this moment, is, let me move these two things out of the way. Because you want to do this part once you're done, because if not, that's when I always end up goofing it up. So let me put these in so you can at least see them for now. So I'm going to take this, since I flipped it over, this is the Shimmery Crystal Effects, and I'm just going to make just some little dots. Pressing too hard. And I'm kind of putting them all over, top and bottom. But that way I can put this card down. It'll sit. Whoops. And it'll be able to actually dry. So they do look really droppy like right now. I don't even know if you can even see them right there. Just barely, you can see them. But kind of put them all over. You could add little bits of copper to them. Even though it does have some copper foil on there, you could add some little copper embellishments to it. If we have, I'm pretty sure we had some sort of a little copper something or other. What did we have? All those cute little copper stars, but they would be a little bit too big. But lots of fun stuff. You could also take, if you really had the patience and the energy for it, you could take the little pearls and you could put Versamark on them, sprinkle a little bit of copper embossing powder and just heat them gently. You could color them in if you have a copper colored Sharpie marker, and then just add them to it as well. You can even add these in as white, because I think they are really cute, that even if you put them on, I'm going to put a couple of them on, which card? I feel like I'm going to do this one. I'm just going to add a couple of them, just for the heck of it. Oops, wrong end. Come on. Oh my goodness, my fingers are not wanting to work today. There we go. I'm just going to go with 3. Because sometimes I tend to get carried away with too many and then I never know when to stop. So there we go. I'm just going to wrap that up with 3. So just, you could put some little extra embellishments that you might have laying around, anything else you want to put on it. But I think these are really, really, really neat. Again, 2 of them we did with a layer of the subtle embossing folder with vanilla. And then this one has a navy panel with the subtle embossing folder. This one is the only one that doesn't have a layer. This is just straight DSP. But a great way to make some really fun cards. I'm trying to make sure this one I remember that it's actually still wet. So thank you guys so much for stopping in. Thanks, Gail. I loved your card the other day. You got interrupted 27 times, you poor thing. I know that must be super frustrating. It used to happen to me as well. I had a lot of issues at one point with just being able to get online and stay on there for some reason. But if you haven't checked out Gail's Penguin card, that's a guard in case I made a merge of her name. If you haven't checked out Gail's Penguin card, it was really cute with the little open flaps. Did a really great job on those. Gail has a channel as well. You can follow along. She makes some awesome cards. So thank you all so much for stopping in today. Again, if you haven't already, this is the Most Wonderful Time product medley. It comes all in one. You get the stamp set, you get the dies. Again, the Christmas presents, it actually cuts out 3. Here's 1, 2, where's the third one? 3. You can cut out the big Christmas tree. You can cut out the little Christmas tree, which looks a little bit like a Who tree. It comes with this 2 extra and then this really cute little spot. I could have done that with the old Christmas tree and cut that out. That would have been adorable as well. But it comes with that. It has DSP. You get the entire stamp set. You get some ribbon. You get some little gold stars. But it's a really great product. I think it has a lot of potential and it also has a lot of product for the money, if you ask me. Because I know a lot of them, sometimes the stuff you get, the only thing is it doesn't come with pre-laid out ideas. So you're definitely going to either need to kind of use a layout that you have and amend it to that stamp set. You can, I'm sure, look on Google and Pinterest. Google Images is a lot of times how I'll find stuff if I don't find what I'm looking for on Pinterest. But if you go there, you can find lots of ideas. So it doesn't come with any ideas of layout. So kind of on that part, you're on your own, which sometimes is a little daunting. And I will tell you, I felt the same way. But then at the same time, look at these cool cards that we came up with that have nothing to do with that color scheme whatsoever, but they're still really simple. Just a piece, nice strip of DSP, maybe some extra layer of background paper if you felt like it. Well, I thank you all for joining. I will try at some point maybe to go live on Friday, but if I do, it's going to be on YouTube. Tomorrow is Halloween party at school, so we only have a half a day of school. But Friday, I'm going to see if I can't pop on Friday onto YouTube. So if you don't already, make sure you follow me there. And if you're on there, if you click the subscribe button and then turn on the little notification bell, it does actually tell you, unlike Facebook, when someone is live. So if you're watching there, it's usually a little bit easier to find out when I'm live. But I thank you all so much for joining today. Remember, tomorrow starts the paper trimmer sale and the Christmas rose medley as well. If you have any questions, you can always send me an email, rachthestamper@gmail.com. You can buy all of these products in my online store, which is rachthestamper.stampinup.net. And I'll see you guys again real soon, if not here on YouTube. And I will be here again next Wednesday live at 9:30 Eastern Standard Time. Thank you all for watching. I hope you have a wonderful week.